Hey Flats Class fans, this is chapter 3 of our kayak video. Now, we've got Jesse Wright's kayak here, and he's going to give us a complete walkthrough of what he feels is necessary to be successful on the water in a kayak. So come on in, let's take a closer look and see what he's got.
All right, so when I go out kayaking, I basically have it rigged just like the way we have it here. I have my rod holder on my H-rail mount. This comes with the boat, so you can add attachments to it if you like. Moving to the back of the boat, I have my crate that holds all my gear, my rods, my cart, which is great to have when you're moving the kayak from the truck and to the truck. And of course, my favorite part is the power pole, which with a click of a button, it goes right up. If you're anchoring up around structure, you don't have to worry about fish pulling you into it. Also, if it's windy, you can anchor up and fish the wind if you'd like.
All right, in this video, I'm gonna ask Jesse, you're limited on what tackle you can bring as a kayak angler. So with a limited amount of tackle, what's your go-to stuff? I mean, what do you consider the essential couple of 3, 4, 5 baits that you must have to be successful?
Yeah, it's a good question. A lot of people ask that a lot. I think number one would probably be a soft plastic like the paddlers. Of course, in that right stuff color, that's my confidence bait. And especially around darker water, I feel like this works really well.
Silhouettes well. You got the big flake in it. It looks very organic and natural, especially in clear water.
And I've noticed in clear water, especially you like to use it in clear water, and it catches a lot of fish as well. It has that earthy color to it, and it drives fish crazy. What else
would an angler that's a kayak angler expect to use with some good success?
Early morning, late afternoon, a topwater like the sheep hup or the sheep dog works really well, especially around the schools of mullet. You can cast it a mile, it makes a lot of noise on the surface, and it seems to be a really good search bait as well.
And that type of bait you're using in what depth most of the time?
It's usually going from 2 to 4 foot.
Okay.
Very rarely I'm going to be throwing that in deeper water because you're not really seeing a whole lot of those fish in those areas, especially around the Clearwater to Dunedin area.
Okay. Thirdly,
you'd go with the Mirrodine, which has been a favorite for a very long time.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 plus years of this bait has caught many trout, redfish, snook for just about anybody in the area.
Yeah, and I think everyone that's watched Flats Class and has seen some of the videos that we've done in the past, that especially the 18 and the 21, they're kind of like the milk and sugar. They catch everything.
It looks just like a greenback.
Yeah, it's
matches the hatch.
Perfect pilchard. Now, are there any other baits you'd just like to talk about that you feel like have also some merit? Let's just say throw another 2 or 3 out there.
The Catch Junior for hard baits is a really good bait to throw. It looks just like a finger mullet.
Okay.
Cooler months, I like throwing the TRD, the hula sticks, the finesse TRD, which years ago I took one of the
razor knife and just cut them down.
Cut it right down.
I think we all were doing that. That's why they came out with it.
That works really well. And then probably maybe a gold spoon.
Maybe a gold spoon.
Very rarely do I throw it, but for high tide situations,
dirty water, cheating the wind a little bit, it's hard to beat spoons. Spoons are just kind of an all-around. So that's not a whole lot different than skiff guys. Skiff guys use a lot of that same equipment.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I mean, a lot of the guys that are fishing inshore, they keep it simple. They pick the baits that work.
That's right.
You don't have to worry about having a ton of tackle, especially on a kayak.
Yeah, you can bring one 3700 box and then have another terminal box. It's got some hooks and some jigs and things like that, and jig heads and things like that, and you're set.
Yep, make it easy.
Keep it simple.
Yes, sir.
But I see this is a 14-foot kayak. I see a lot of 12-foot kayaks out on the water, and even a few 10-footers. What makes 14? Is 14 the best for fishing?
I mean, you're going to have your ups and downs as far as which one people choose, whether it be a 12-foot or 14-foot. I think a 14-foot's going to be a little bit faster.
Tracks better, maybe?
Tracks better, it's faster, you can carry more gear. But the downside to a 14-foot boat is it's harder to turn. So if you're wanting
you've got more resistance. Yeah, that's exactly.
Right. So if you're wanting to fish a little bit tighter areas, close quarter, 12 foot's gonna be better.
Okay.
A little bit better as far as turning, getting into those tighter spaces.
What about someone like me? 6'5", 230 pounds. Is this gonna do it?
This is gonna do it. This boat right here.
Or is there one bigger?
This is the biggest you can probably go with.
Okay.
And it's heavy, but it gets the job done.
And it's stable.
Stable.
My big deal with it is, can I stand in it without getting tanked?
Do you have good balance?
I do.
Then
I've been on little boats. I've been on little boats. I got a paddleboard and I haven't fallen off yet. But I did that more or less to please my wife. But I look at something like this and I go, wow, Jesse has got a ton of equipment on here, accessories, and I can just imagine you've kind of made it simple for this course.
Yes.
But all in all, there's still a ton of gear on here.
It's a bunch of gear, but a lot of it stays on the boat. Only the rods and the box and everything, I bring on. But as far as stability goes, it's really easy to stand up on. I mean, this boat can hold up to, I think, 650 pounds worth of gear, and of course the angler.
And sitting in a seated position like this all day, I know a lot of older kayak guys are going to say, yeah, what type of seat is right for you so that you're comfortable, you're not getting that numbness in your legs or your lower back, because that's some of the questions that I would have as a 50-something-year-old guy jumping in a kayak to go fish for 5 or 6 hours. Am I going to really be happy with this?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of your newer kayaks are going to have this like lawn chair style seating, just because a lot of people are getting into kayak fishing. And if you look back 10 years ago, the seats were horrible.
They were horrible.
And they'd kill your back. They were pretty much molded into the boat.
Yeah, this thing looks...
But
and I see all the tensioners that you have on it to adjust it.
You can basically move the seat up. You can move the bottom part up as well, or down, depending on how you want to sit in the boat. And of course, it actually has a relaxation mode where you can take a break and take a nap if you want.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, do they and they slide back and forth? Can you adjust?
Some of them will slide back and forth. This one doesn't, but you can definitely take this off the boat as well if you wanted to pull up to an oyster bar or a beach and take a break.
Well, those are just some of the questions I wanted to ask. If you guys have more questions that you'd like to ask Redfish Jesse, just put them in the questions and comments section down below, and we'll be sure to get back with you. All right, in this video, I'm going to ask Jesse a lot about the essential add-ons. You've already showed us the basic kayak stuff that you have to have, but what are some of the essential add-ons, some of the features that don't catch your eye right away, but still seem pretty relevant to have?
Yeah, so I try to keep it simple, especially with my add-ons. Everybody has to have a cup holder. You drink, you eat on the boat, so that's good to have. A camera mount, GoPro mount is always good to have as well. Easy to clip onto the H-rail, especially on the Hobies. Rod holder, the Scotty mount, clips right on just like these two accessories. And if you look inside the boat, I have 6 rod lockers that they come on the boat, but you also have the accessory that you can lay the rods down on, so you don't have to damage the tips or anything like that. Another cool feature with the Hobie 360 is going to be the Mirage Drive system. The whole Mirage Drive turns 360 degrees with this lever right here. So if you're in a close quarter, saying docks, mangroves, and you want to back up, or you want to turn left or right, you can do it by just turning this knob, and it makes life a lot easier to maneuver through those areas to chase your fish, whether it be a snook or a tarpon. Working my way up to the hatch, I have a battery in here that'll actually power my LED lights or my depth finder. Now, my depth finder I don't use a whole lot of in the area because I'm fishing the flats, but if I go up north and do a lot of bass fishing, I'll have that unit rigged up and ready to go so I can find rock ledges, trees, and stuff like that. The times I do use it here is if I go off the beach and I'm trying to find bait, especially looking for tarpon, I can use that as well. Last but not least, how to carry your baits and your plastics and everything. This Flambeau box works really well. I have a top compartment with some of the stuff that I use most of the time, packs of Z-Mans, jig heads, and then below I have a little bigger area. I can put my boxes, I can put my GoPro, even some food or drinks in there as well. Also, another thing to have on the boat if you're a tournament angler is a measuring board. Now you can make these at home. It's real easy. It's just PVC board. You can get the 321 sticker so you can measure your fish so you know exactly how big the fish that you're catching, which everybody knows is the most important thing.